Scrum method. This is the topic that we are covering in this video. Scrum method is an agile software development method that was proposed by Jeff Sutherland and his development team around 1990s. Scrum principles incorporates some frame activities, and the frame activities that constitute the software process are requirements, analysis, design, then evolution, and finally delivery. So in this process, within each of these framework activities, there will be so many work tasks, and these work tasks are known as sprints. So here a framework activity is constituted of different sprints. The work conducted within a sprint is adapted to the problem at hand and is defined and modified in real time by the Scrum team. The number of sprints may vary according to the complexity and size of the product to be developed. Here is the diagram which explains the Scrum method or Scrum process flow. So here we have a product backlog which contains different features of this product to be developed, and these will be provided by the customers, and it will be prioritized based on the requirements of the customer. And one of these or many of these features will be developed at a time in each of the sprint, and this is known as sprint backlog, where the features will be assigned to a particular sprint. Then after that, the backlog items will be expanded by the Scrum team. So here they will be following a number of steps that we have already seen, that is different activities will be carried out within a short span of time, and during this sprint, this Scrum team will be having meetings every day, and each of these meetings may last up to 15 minutes, and they will be discussing about the development of the sprint and whether it is ready for final release or not. After carrying out all these frame activities, the final product or the final sprint functionality will be available to the customer. So this will be delivered to the customer in order to get the feedback and also the review from the customer side. And this process will be continued based on the requirements of the product. Scrum methods are applied to the projects which are having tight timelines, or sometimes it may be having changing requirements according to the customer needs, and also if there are some business criticality involved in the project. Each process pattern will be having different development actions. The development actions that are involved in this are backlog. Backlog means it is a prioritized list of project requirements or features that provide business value for the customer. So this backlog will be containing the needed features of the product to be developed, and the features can be added to the backlog at any time, and whenever a backlog will be added with a new feature, then all the features available in the backlog will be considered, and the project manager will be assigning priorities to these features. So based on these priorities, the sprints will be planned. Next comes the second action, that is sprints. Sprints consist of work units that are required to achieve requirement defined in the backlog that must be fit into a predefined time box, and the time box is typically considered to be of 30 days, that is 1 month, and changes are not introduced during the sprint period. It can be introduced either before or after the sprints. So the sprint allows team members to work in a short term, but a stable environment will be provided. The next action is Scrum meetings. Scrum meetings are short meetings that are held by the Scrum team. It may take up to 15 minutes and it will be conducted every day. And mainly 3 questions are asked and answered by all team members during this Scrum meetings. They are: what did you do since the last team meeting? What obstacles are you encountering? What do you plan to accomplish by the next team meetings? So there will be a team leader who is known as Scrum Master, who leads the meeting and assesses the responses from each person. The Scrum meetings help the team to uncover potential problems as early as possible. And these meetings also lead to knowledge socialization and thereby promote a self-organizing team structure. The last action is demos. Demos deliver the software increment to the customer so that functionality that has been implemented can be demonstrated and evaluated by the customer. It is very important to note that the demo may not contain all planned functionality, but rather those functions that can be delivered within the time box that was established. So these are the actions that are carried out during a frame activities. That's all about Scrum method. Thank you.